Joining me now is retired Vice Admiral Robert Harward. Welcome to the program, sir. The great fear is that the Iranians close the Straits of Hormuz. Can you tell us if the Iranians can actually do that because they don't have a navy any longer?
Well, this is your timing dilemma. They've been saying this for 30 years. They've always threatened to close the Gulf, and they have on occasion. So right now, with their Navy decimated, they have limited ability to do that, but they still have the missile threats. So we're going to have to get over this short-term problem, but understanding if we sue for peace too long, this issue is only going to exacerbate as it has for the last 2 or 3 decades. Should Iran be enabled or allowed to be able to threaten the Straits of Hormuz as they have for 2 or 3 decades? So if we don't solve the long-term problem, this problem's always going to be there, and we have the opportunity to do that now.
Yeah, the Pentagon held a press conference this morning. I want you to listen to what Secretary of War Pete Hegseth had to say. Roll that tape, please.
This is not 2003. This is not endless nation building under those types of quagmires we saw under Bush or Obama. It's not even close. Our generation of soldier will not let that happen again, and nor will this president, who very clearly ran against those kinds of never-ending, nebulously scoped missions. Those days are dead. Instead, we're winning decisively with brutal efficiency, total air dominance, and an unbreakable will to accomplish the president's objectives.
Admiral Pete Hegseth said we are winning decisively. I'm saying we are now in a winning position. What's your analysis?
Well, there's no doubt we've completely decimated the bulk of Iran's military and offensive capabilities. There are still remnants intact. But the bigger picture is somewhat what you illustrated before those Iranian women. Consider that's playing out in Iran itself. You have large parts of the population who are ready to go, but many holding them back because of the fear that they're going to be murdered. So as soon as we've finished the job of neutralizing missiles, then it's the focus on the regime and supporting those people like those Iranian women who want a different option. They want to see this regime gone. They want Iran returned to them. And so at the end of the day, the long-term solution is how we enable them to flip and get rid of these guys in Iran. So I think that's what's playing out right now.
Have you got any good ideas? How do we get the mullahs out and some more democratically oriented people in? What's the mechanism for getting in a new government?
Well, there are a couple. First off, as you've seen, targeting the leadership in the IRGC, but a lot of the intelligence, a lot of the offensive capability first has to deal with eradicating their ability to project power. Once you've done that, you can turn your intelligence, your offensive, and our partners to focusing on the regime on the ground. So I think, again, this timeline, we've been at this of 10 days, you're seeing that military capacity decimated, and now it's a shift to how we support on the ground the Iranian people.
President Trump says Iran would have attacked Israel if the U.S. didn't strike first. Roll tape.
You know, if we didn't do that B-2 attack, Israel would have been wiped out. They would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks after that. And even now, I think they were looking to take over the Middle East, because when you look, and we have pretty good proof, all of those missiles that were so stupidly aimed at Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, they were all aimed, and others, at countries that were sort of like, leave us alone. They had all these missiles, far more than anyone thought, and they were going to attack us. But they were going to attack all of the Middle East and Israel, and if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it on Israel.
Admiral, your judgment, please. Was Iran really in a position to develop any kind of nuclear weapon?
Oh, there's no doubt over the decades they've been enhancing that capabilities. We watched them increase their inventories of highly enriched uraniums. We watched them increase their capacity to refine that into highly enriched uranium and weapons-grade materials. So they were now, over the course of the last decade, had moved from years to do that to weeks, if not days, to do that because their capacity to enrich So without a doubt, it had gotten to the point where they controlled the timeline, no one else. And that's a threat to everyone, just as you're seeing now with these missile inventories. It's not just Israel, it's UAE, it's Qatar, it's Saudi, it's Turkey. They're going after everyone. So consider this, if we reach peace now, what prevents that from reconstituting and only being stronger in the future? And so this is the dilemma the administration is dealing with. How do we get through this short-term pain for really long-term gains to establish the criteria for security and stability, no one that's going to threaten people in the Gulf, and no one's that's going to prohibit the world economy from moving forward by shipping oil in and out of the Gulf.
Admiral Harward, thank you very much for joining us this morning. See you again soon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.